Didulo's speeches are filled with fantastical stories, including how she became the reigning monarch of Canada. She claims the Chinese military had clandestinely invaded secret underground tunnels that crisscrossed with Canada. Okay, it's funny again. With great difficulty, she commanded her forces and cleared the tunnels of the Chinese communists. She defeated Chinese commies who use underground tunnels that intersect, and then she attacked Canadian mole people. That's what's happening. This is a quick update on the Queen of Canada. If you didn't know, Canada has a queen, a real queen, by the way, not the Queen of England, but Canada's got a queen called Romana Didulo. She's been calling for violence. The sovereign citizen movement is expanding rapidly. It can now be found in 26 countries. The movement is anti-government in nature, and its followers believe they're immune to the laws of the government. Don't get me wrong. I am not really a fan of nationalism, just the concept of countries in general. I'd rather us exist as a collective humanity rather than a little team of sports, and each team is based on the lottery of where you came out of a womb. Based on that dot, then you are part of a team where these imaginary lines are drawn, and then depending on that, you could have a really good or a really hard life, and you may go to war with a different team depending again on that dot where you were born. Like that whole concept, I find it just kind of strange. It's hard for me to just in the modern age keep wrapping my head around, you know. Just don't get me wrong, when like a sports team wins, I'm kind of like, yeah, sweet, and I'm in the street. Look how much solidarity we all have with each other over, again, a completely made up thing. Like, just no such thing as a Canadian outside of the concept that we've invented, and then just, well, okay, all right, here we are. But we do have sovereign citizens. And all that being said, I do find laughing at sovereign citizens funny. It's a guilty pastime of mine. If you see those YouTube collections where, and again, I don't like seeing the enforcement of the power of the state, but they're just so silly. I like it, and if they were fighting, I think, for something noble, if they were genuinely like, I feel oppressed, like, it's always these like 20-year-old like dudes who saw something in a Reddit thread or a Discord log or something, and they think that's the law of the land. And they think the rules don't apply to them. Like, a lot of them do, I'm sorry, come from a lot of privilege too, to be able to just think you can walk into a courtroom and then have a police officer there, not have to worry about metal detectors, and be like, oh, sorry, I do not consent. I do not consent. If I say that out loud, that you can't do anything to me, so I do not consent. I'm walking inside. It's like, if you take one more step, sir, I will taser you. It's like, oh no, I don't consent to that either. And then taser. But, there's a movement in Canada led by the Queen of Canada, Romana Didulo. She's the commander-in-chief, also the head of state and government. She's the president and national indigenous chief of the Kingdom of Canada. We have a kingdom now. She's promoted herself to the Queen of the World. Oh shit, she's the Queen of the World now? We have to issue a correction here. The Queen of the World. Upgrade? Holy fuck, that's an upgrade. That's a massive get. Going from the Queen of Canada to the Queen of the World, I'm sorry. But then who will become the queen of the universe or the multiverse? Get on it, everybody. You don't want her to take these positions. I mean, how do we stop her? I don't know. Didulo tours Canada in a recreational vehicle accompanied by an entourage. They hold meet and greets where she speaks formally. These are recorded and posted on multiple channels on QAnon conspiracy theories, pseudo-legal sovereign citizens' beliefs, and New Age spiritualities. She tells her followers of her supernatural abilities. She claims she can become invisible by cloaking herself. This power is not unusual for beings of her race, she says. She is not of this earth. She is a member of a highly advanced alien race, an Arcturian. Okay, an Arcturian, an alien being with special celestial powers. Romana Didulo's speech topics today bragged about being a dictator, says if you kill, you will be killed, says her decrees work in the USA, reiterated she is an Arcturian starseed whose spiritual contract requires preserving humankind, her new role as mediator between the US and Russia. Oh, so she's the official ambassador between the US and Russia. That would make sense. Who better than the Queen of the World? Who's not of this earth, to be able to have an impartial view on what is going on, so that there's no bias. So that's good too. They also possess med beds. Med beds, according to Didulo, are advanced healing chambers that cure medical ailments, regrow limbs and organs. How long does that take? Because is it going to be one of those things where it's like your arm will grow back, it'll just take some time? Because the minute that doesn't happen, you're pretty much fucked. So reverse aging, and even make one immortal. She promises full access to these beds, complete with their miracles, to all of her followers. Telegram posts suggest that many of her followers are fervently awaiting her promised technology, possibly delaying legitimate medical care. Cool stuff. And this is where it obviously moves from a hilarious story to a fucking you are an absolute and utter ghoul who may be responsible for people's suffering and or deaths. Didulo's speeches are filled with fantastical stories, including how she became the reigning monarch of Canada. She claims the Chinese military had clandestinely invaded secret underground tunnels that crisscrossed with Canada. Okay, it's funny again. With great difficulty, she commanded her forces and cleared the tunnels of the Chinese communists. She defeated Chinese commies who use underground tunnels that intersect, and then she attacked Canadian mole people. That's what's happening. She also claims to have access to billions of dollars stored in the Vatican. Good place to store it. I mean, it's pretty well guarded. I've been there. Maybe she can have it converted to all the gold. She claims to be a shapeshifter who can assume any physical appearance she chooses. The US Commander-in-Chief has assigned Didulo to end the war in Ukraine by acting as the mediator between the United States and Russia. She claimed recently the Russian President Vladimir Putin, a close friend, had personally gifted her an autographed watch. That's very nice of Putin. That's neat too, because you could hold it up. And it probably says like Putin on it. It's tempting to take Didulo lightly. I don't know. As soon as you said that medical stuff. Also, I do know about the fact that she asked her followers to murder people. There's that. So I'm aware of that one. But she is not an innocuous figure. She has strong influence over many followers. Most recently, she's decreed that in Canada, all utilities are free, taxes are optional. I mean, this kind of sounds based. And all debts have been wiped clean. In response, some followers have stopped paying their bills. Whoa! Hey, Mary, get in here. What? Did you see what the Queen of the World just did? What? She just made all utilities free. Really? Yeah. Yeah, we just don't have to pay. The Queen of the World said it. All right, cool. Hopefully the lights don't go out. And have had their utilities shut off to their homes. Her Royal Majesty, Queen Romana, faithful, loving, innocent, I am of all ages, have listened to your words and enacted your decrees, and are now losing their homes and been cut off from services for non-payment. They ask you for help here in the Q&A and on the chats. Will you be answering their pleas for help? How long can they remain loyal if they are suffering losses and assistance does not appear forthcoming in a timely manner? We all want to see and be the change. Kobayashi Maru. I stopped paying my hydro bills when directed by the QR last month, and they shut off my utilities. I've been without power during some of the hottest days I've ever felt. To add to the stress, my oldest cat passed away yesterday. You killed a cat. Are you kidding me? How long can this last? My oldest cat passed away, and I suspect it was due to the heat. I don't know what more to do. I can't keep waiting. I need power. I've been charging my phone and using Wi-Fi at the nearby McDonald's in the meantime. Last year, she instructed her followers to send cease and desist letters to school and health officials involved in COVID-19 testing, vaccines, and masking efforts. Didulo believes that anyone who received the COVID-19 vaccine has had their DNA restructured and is slowly, but inevitably, turning into a controllable robot. She does, however, offer a cure that requires listening daily to sounds at certain designated frequencies. Yeah, you like that? I just made all your balls grow 20 sizes. In 2021, she was detained for allegedly encouraging her followers to shoot and kill anyone involved in vaccinating young people against COVID-19, adding that the traitors will face a military tribunal punishable by fire squads or hanging. One of her followers was subsequently arrested about posting online threats aimed at his daughter's school. Didulo seems to have a vindictive streak. She brags about being a dictator. Anyone complaining that her decrees are ineffective will be banned from her Telegram pages. Ex-followers report that she has threatened to shoot them or hang them from military helicopters and hover them above a volcano with commercial crocodile farms. She commonly refers to herself in the third person, often proclaiming her importance. She says she renamed Victoria Queen Romana City and Prince Edward Island to Province of Queen Romana. Didulo is deceiving her followers. Her decrees are hurting them. Nothing she suggests is legal or true. Her followers are hurt. They are not blameless. They are drawn to her because of greed. They want something for nothing. She promises them free money, no bills, no taxes. All they have to do, she says, is believe. The T is normally a pretty lefty organization. It's kind of funny they're taking this strong stance that these are just freeloaders, greedy freeloaders. I think they're probably indoctrinated a lot more into some of the pageantry and strange of it all. In reality, they are trying to steal gas, electricity, and water and refrain from repaying the money they borrowed from the banks. As I see it, they are entitled to free money and utilities. They want gas without paying for it. They want to stop any. Well, that's just freemen of the land. That's a time-honored tradition. But they don't consent. They do not consent. So they cannot be taxed. They don't have to pay for things. They can walk into a store and take whatever they want. They don't consent. They never consent. And if they don't consent, you don't have the legal authority to make them do so because they are freemen of the land. It's in the name, freeman. Like most of our followers, conspiracy theorists espousing outlandish falsehoods, Dulo's principles will learn the hard way that they've been duped. In the meantime, they can cause serious real-world problems and even terror for law-abiding citizens. Her tactics are nonsense and have no basis in reality. But I mean, is this not an authority figure? Is this not the Queen of the World? The Queen of the World, everyone. There she is, Her Majesty. So weird. So bizarre.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free. Just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Just, we are prepared to embark on a mighty jihad in your name. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your humble jester, attempting in vain to get you to laugh. To our valiant knights of the Round Table, Benji Arnie, Tech Tink, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Mayred, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood. It doesn't matter what I believe, it only matters what I can prove. Hagbird Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Coulter Smith, Jenna Tao, Quiet 185, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, The Tim Caucus, Multimondi, Trevbot, EXE, Brian Ephraim, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojak, Saren 42, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, Agent NDN, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our mugs and salute our brave heroes off to another glorious conquest.